What's up, everybody? Weston here with The Hidden Given, and we are back with a Monday episode of Magic for the Working Class, the deck tech series where I make decks for under $100 because everything's really expensive, including singles, and so, should still be able to have fun with Magic. Sorry about my voice. I can't hear very well. I actually have pretty significant hearing loss. And as a result, if I'm somewhere loud, I can't hear, and so I naturally talk really loud, and so my voice sounds like this, which is amazing, let me tell you. But before we get into it, if you like my daily deck techs, if you like Magic for the Working Class, if you like my historical content, anything else in between, feel free to subscribe. And now, without further ado, we're going to talk about the Notary Hobbits. And this is coming in at about $89. So the Notary Hobbits, it's a 49-cent card from The Hobbit. Pretty, simple, not very noteworthy. But I have been getting run over by this card in Casual Brawl, which is really funny. Think of this as like Raphaelos we have at home. So what is it? It's a 1/1 for 3 generic and double green, and whenever the Notary Hobbits enters, if they are not a token, holy cow, create 2 tokens that are copies of them. Except those tokens aren't legendary. And then you add a colorless mana for each halfling you control. So when it comes down, there's going to be 3 of them. And so each of them will tap for 3, which is 9 colorless mana. Now, what I've been having happen to me on Arena, in some games I can easily win, right? But other games I have gotten run over by the Notary Hobbits. And what they do is they cast Eldrazi and big things. And so that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're also going to have a side quest of having more Hobbits to tap for even more. So here's what we have today. Oh my god, my voice is gone, friends. We have ourselves some big Eldrazi and colorless creatures in the form of Artisan of Kozilek, which has Annihilator 2, and when you cast a spell, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then Bane of Bala Ged, which is whenever Bane of Bala Ged attacks, defending player exiles 2 permanents he or she controls. Breaker of Armies, all creatures able to block Breaker of Armies do so. If you can get him out really early, which we can in green because we can ramp out our Notary Hobbits fast, then you're going to be able to just probably wipe their board with a 10-8. Breaker of Creation. You cast its spell, you gain 1 life for each colorless permanent you control. We don't really care about that. What we care about is that it has Annihilator 2 and Hexproof from each color. Darksteel Colossus. A classic that used to command like a $10 plus price tag and now is $1. God bless this card being $1. This is an example of a card getting power creep, so it is not good anymore. Blightsteel Colossus is the much better and much more expensive version, but it's an 11/11 for 11, trample, indestructible, and if it would be put into the graveyard from anywhere, reveal it and shuffle it into its owner's library. Desolation Twin, when you cast it, you create a 10/10 Eldrazi creature token. We do have Elvish Mystic and Land of War Elves for some mana dorks. We have Feasting Hobbit in here, creatures with power less than Feasting Hobbit. Can't block it, and it has Devour Food 3. We do have a couple tiny ways to make food, but not a super ton. Guardian of Gladewalker. Changeling, so it's a Hobbit, it's a 1/1 for 1, and whenever enters the battlefield, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature. We have the 2 bad Kozileks in here. This one is whenever you cast a spell, up to 2 target players, whenever you cast this spell, up to 2 target players each manifest 2 cards from their hand. For each card manifested this way, you draw a card. And other colorless creatures you control get +3/+2. Kozilek, the Great Distortion, of course, is even worse, kind of, in that he's a 12/12, but his ability is when you cast a spell, if you have fewer than 7 cards in your hand, you draw cards equal to the difference. That is better. You know what? I'm going to say he's better. Menace also gives you evasion, but you can discard a card with mana value X, counter target spell with mana value X, so I suppose it's not really that bad. Path Razor of Ulamog, it is a 9/9 for 11 with Annihilator 3. and it can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures, so it has super menace. Mariotic Brandybuck is whenever one or more halflings you control attack a player, create a food token. You're not going to do this too much, but you can. Paragraph Took. If one or more token creatures or one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional food are created. So you play your Pippin, and then you cast your Notary Hobbits, and it gets you a food as well. Primordial Hydra. This creature enters with X/1/1 counters on it, and at the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of 1/1 counters on it, and it has trample as long as it has 10 or more counters. Prosperous Innkeeper. Enters the battlefield, create a treasure, and whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. Radagast of Ruskabel. Love this card a lot. First creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast for and can be cast as though it had flash. Rex Sage pops an artifact or enchantment. Studious First Year gives you a rampant growth. Ulamog's Crusher attacks every combat if able, has annihilated 2. Ulamog's Dreadsire has ward, sack a permanent with mana value 1 or greater, vigilance, and tap to create a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi token. We also have Worldbreaker, which has Devoid, and whenever you cast this spell, exile target artifact, enchantment, or land. It also has reach. You can also pay 2 and a colorless to sacrifice a land, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Also, I apologize about the yawning. I am recording this at about 3:30 in the morning. It's been a long day. We have Woodland Changeling. It is a hobbit, a halfling, if you will. Sorceries, Animus Awakening. Reveal the top X cards of your libraries. Put all land cards from them onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Spell Mastery. If there are 2 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, untap those lands. That's pretty easy in mono green. We have Cultivate for ramp, Explore for ramp, Flare of Cultivation. Rampant Growth, Shared Roots as well. We have Harmonize for some draw. Gelatinous Genesis, which creates XXX green ooze creature tokens. Genesis Wave. I love this card. It's one of my favorite Big Timmy cards. You pay X and triple green. Reveal the top X cards of your library. You may put any number of permanent cards with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Any cards that don't go into your graveyard. Green Sun's Twilight. Reveal the top X cards of your +1 of your library. Choose a creature card and or land card from among them. Put those onto the into your hand for the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If X is 5 or more, instead put the chosen cards into the battlefield or in your hand. Rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. It's a big Vorinclex looking guy. Mobilize untaps all your creatures. This helps you get more mana. Pest Infestation. You destroy X target artifacts and create twice X 1/1 black pest creature tokens. Spinning Wheel Kick. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each of X target creatures and or planeswalkers. And Through the Forest Gate. Look at the top 20 cards of your library. Put any number of land cards from among them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. They're tapped, and then you gain 8 life. We do have some fog effects with Fog and Blessed Respite. We do have Charge Through, which gives a creature trample until end of turn. You draw a card. Harrow for ramp. Vitalize untaps all of your creatures. Wilt will destroy an artifact or enchantment. Snakeskin Veil for protection. Squall Line can straight kill people. Deals X damage to each creature with flying in each player. Desecrate Reality for each opponent. Exile up to 1 target permanent that player controls with an even mana value. 0 is even in this instance. And if at least 3 colorless mana was spent to cast this spell, return a permanent card with an odd mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield. We have Birthing Bows and Masquerade Nexus, which each create shapeshifter creature tokens. So not overly too bad there. Also, they take generic mana to do that, so you can just poop out more little halflings. Just Closet, Blink. So you're going to blink your commander, which then comes back and generates more little mana dork halflings. Like Crafter's Bestiary, when you cast a spell, you pay a green if you do, draw a card. Tower of Fortunes. This card's really cheap, but I used to run a whole bunch of these towers from Mirrodin. They don't see the love that they used to. They also used to get played in EDH back in the day. But for 4, you can pay 8 to draw 4 cards, which 8 is a lot, but when you're tapping for 1,000,000, it's not the worst. We have Awakening Zone. It poops out Eldrazi's. That can be sacked for mana. Utopia Sprawl and Wild Growth for ramp. Overwhelming Instinct. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, draw a card. Spring Leaf Parade. You get to create X/1/1 shapeshifters and halflings. Creature tokens you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. Krook's Uprising will help you draw cards. And they're running 39 forests. Then we have our playtesting. Let's take a look. It's not the worst thing in the world. Let's go here. Forest. I'm going to play Utopia Sprawl. I'll put this here. I'm going to play a forest. So we have 3 mana available. I am going to tap. I'm going to play Studious First Year. I am going to Rampant Growth. And then we're good. Next turn, we have our forest here, our forest here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to play the Notary Hobbits. I don't know if they have Notary Hobbit. Nope, they don't. So we're going to do copies. And remember, we generate 2 token copies here. So we have 3 Notary Hobbits. I'm going to put the tokens like this so that way to indicate that they are indeed Notary Hobbits. Next turn, we draw a card and we play a forest. We can generate 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 mana on this turn. What I'm going to do is tap these for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I am going to Genesis Wave for 12. So we're revealing the top 12 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Remember, turn 1 we played the Utopia Sprawl. Turn 2 we played this. Turn 3 we played this. This is turn 4. And now we get all of these things. And they go onto the battlefield. And we can put all permanents with mana value 12 or less onto the battlefield. And we have this many forests going onto the battlefield. We have Breaker of Armies. Now note, you don't get the cast triggers for these Eldrazi. And then this goes into the graveyard, and this goes into the graveyard, and so does this. So whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, draw a card. And like I said, we have 6 mana available, which is pretty good. We have our ability to throw an artifact or enchantment. We also have a fog. On our next turn, we're going to draw. We're going to play a forest. We are going to go ahead and swing in and bring the pain. All of them have to block our 10-8, which means our 11-11 and our 12-12 are getting through. We also get to draw a card because we attacked with 3 or more creatures. And since this is only turn 5, the likelihood of them having enough creatures to kill your Breaker of Armies is probably 0. We are going to then play our Mariotic Brandybuck. And I think dropping down our Artisan of Kozilek is fine as well. We still could create a whole bunch of ooze tokens, so we're going to keep that in our back pocket for now. Our next turn. Also, we had floating mana left over from this. We play a forest. We're going to attack. Annihilator 2 trigger. This triggers. We draw a card. I'm going to sandbag this stuff in my hand in case there's a wrath effect. They hit and will probably kill our opponents at this point in time. We probably very well killed our last opponent. Next turn, we're going to draw. We have a forest once again. We're going to play that forest. Even if they manage to kill the Notary Hobbits, we have so much resources, or so many resources, at our disposal that they're not going to be able to stop us. and we attack again. They all have to block the Breaker of Armies, and we draw a card. I'm going to sandbag our Desolation Twin. On our next turn, we of course draw. And we very well would have won the game by now, unless they managed to blow everything up, and even if they did do a destroy effect, Darksteel Colossus is still in play. We can hardcast Desolation Twin. We can recast Notary Hobbits, and then cast a Gelatinous Genesis for, let's see what it would do. If we didn't have any of this, and we just had these 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We would be able to do 11 green ooze creature tokens. That is busted. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm going to get some rest. Hopefully my voice is back tomorrow. Oh, man. I tell you, it ain't easy being hard of hearing sometimes. And that's also sometimes why I might talk really loud into the microphone. But today, just can't do it. Hope you all have a wonderful day.